Hey everybody, Roman versus with the Squashfest podcast and my co-host.
It's just a mid show. Let's
Wow.
go. It's the boy hard.
Wow.
It's Survivor Series. Can we please next year? I'm going to send in a really angry letter to Paul Levesque. Next year's Survivor Series.
I think we need to start blaming Paul. I think this is a TKO problem.
Next year's Survivor Series, no war games. I'm done. I don't need the cages. Give me something other. Can we go back to brand versus brand? Take away the crown jewel thing in the middle of the year for brand supremacy or whoever the champ. Take away that crown jewel championship and just give us champion versus champion at Survivor Series again. Give us something, because this show, we'll get into it. I said to you last night that this is during our live that this was a failing grade for me for this show. So this was bad. All right, so Survivor Series emanating from San Diego, California, had 4 matches on it. Opening match was Women's Survivor Series match, War Games match, which was Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, and AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch, Lash Legend, Nia Jax, Asuka, and Kairi Sane. It was fine. It was fun. We got Io with a trash can on her head doing a swanton bomb. We got Lash Legend going in there looking great. We got Rhea Ripley. I told you on SmackDown she was going to have some sort of weird mask. She came in with the Art the Clown Terrifier mask. But it was fine. Like, there was nothing special about this match. Like, if there was one overlying theme for me in both Survivor Series matches, neither one did anything to touch on the stories that led into the matches.
I'll agree with that.
Like
it was literally just everybody just fighting.
It was it. And we didn't. And if you were just a random fan and this is the first thing you see because it's like, oh, it's a cage match, let me go see a cage match, you wouldn't understand why these people hate each other.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Like, all right, so I don't think we need to go into in order of entrance. By the time everybody got into the match and the women's match officially started, Lash Legend was the last one that came in. She started beating everybody down. She had a really good spot with Rhea Ripley, where we said last night her and Rhea moving forward could be a little mini feud moving forward, because it could be good for Rhea to have to go against somebody who's bigger than her.
Yeah.
Asuka tries to hit the mist. Charlotte moves Alexa, or Alexa moves Charlotte. One of them saved the other one. Lash gets blasted with the mist. Asuka hits the trash can. She goes to the top of the cage. AJ Lee, because she's so small, tries to hand Asuka the trash can. I'm sorry, not Asuka. Io Sky the trash can, and but she can't do it. So Rhea put AJ on her shoulders to lift her up, so Io can grab the trash can. She puts it on. She hits the swanton bomb. Hits every heel but Becky Lynch. And then the baby faces all beat down Becky Lynch, and eventually AJ Lee makes Becky Lynch submit with the tarantula lock or whatever she's calling it. I forgot, the octopus hold. It doesn't really matter. It's her abdominal stretch that she can do because she's super flexible. But that was the women's match. It was fine. It was fun. It was okay. Like, it is what it is.
Of no consequence.
Nothing on this show had any consequence except for the mystery man at the end, which we'll talk about later. Nothing else on this show had consequence. As then we're going to get into the Intercontinental Championship match between Dominic Mysterio and John Cena. This match was literally Dominic Mysterio trying to find every single way to cheat as possible to win his back as Intercontinental Championship. He loosened the boot. He faked an injury. Raquel hit him with the Sahana bomb. Raquel punched him in the face. Roxanne hit a pop rocks. Finn and JD come out at one point. It was literally 5-on-1 on John Cena.
Yeah.
And they couldn't put him down.
Yep.
So towards the end, we'll just talk about the ending. Dominic Mysterio fakes a shoulder injury, same way Penta got hurt on Raw. He goes for a Hurricane Rana, gets dropped on his head, fakes a shoulder injury. That's when they hit the power bomb and the pop rocks. Dom runs into the ring, hits a frog splash. Cena kicks out. JD Finn Balor come out. They eventually all of them get kicked out from ringside because the ref was like, Cena didn't kick out. The ref told Dom, I'm not going to count the pinfall.
Yeah.
Because you were just faking an injury, so I'm not counting the pinfall. So then he kicked all of the members of Judgment Day out. So John Cena and Dominic Mysterio have their one-on-one match for about 3 minutes. He loosens his boot a la Eddie Guerrero. He hits another 619 without the boot. He hits Frog Splash. That's when John Cena kicked out. As eventually Cena hits an AH, Dom kicks out, and then Liv Morgan's music hits. And this to me was the only highlight of the real night because Liv comes out and she did such great work. She looked like $1 million. She had Dominic Mysterio on her pants. She comes in, she yells at Dom, she slaps Dom, she jumps into John Cena's arms, and I thought at one point, okay, she's gonna make out with John Cena, a la crazy AJ Lee would do in 2012. Yeah. But no, then she immediately, her eyes like wide, and she's just like
she pulled the Cena on Cena.
Yeah, but her acting was just crazy. And then she goes back to smiling. And then she low blows John Cena. Dominic Mysterio hits a 619. She hits Cena with the belt. Dom hits the frog splash, gets the win. Dominic Mysterio is your 2-time Intercontinental Champion. So coming out of this, what does it mean for Judgment Day?
Yeah,
that Liv is back in the fold moving forward, because now you have Liv. You have Roxanne, because when Liv got hurt, Roxanne wasn't an official member of Judgment Day. She was just hanging around.
Yep.
Now Roxanne is an official member of the group.
Yep.
Roxanne has been doing little subtle things to try to get Dominic Mysterio's attention for like the last 5 months. What does it mean for the group?
This match itself didn't matter.
No.
It's the after that matters, because all we care about is the dynamic with Liv returning to the Judgment Day. That's it. The match had zero consequence. Yes, he's a double champion, but that's whatever. I don't know, but you know why? Because they kept on and off doing the Roxanne and Dominic thing. They hadn't really touched on it in a while. To now Liv is back. Do they start it up again to like start that? I don't know. But there's no build here. I feel like it's on the decline. They need to do something to reinvigorate this.
In the last couple weeks, there's been like little hints of Roxanne doing it. Like
hints, and it's only been like once or twice.
Yeah, it's in the last couple weeks. Like, let me go speak to him. Let me see what I can do. Sitting down with him. Yeah. It wasn't like when she was first coming around, bringing him chicken nuggets and bringing him gifts and like 100%. Whatever. But they've hinted at it. But Raquel has done her job and been like, no, Chiquita, we need to focus on this, and kept her in line.
Yeah.
Now with Liv back, because Liv and Raquel's relationship is so strong because they're multi-time tag team champions. Does Raquel now not focus on Roxanne as much because her bestie's back, allowing Roxanne to go all free home wrecker the way Liv did on Rhea? Because now so that's an interesting part of the story as well. How does Raquel fit in between Liv and Roxanne now? Mm-hmm. They might just ignore Dominic Mysterio completely, and it just might be Raquel. It might just be a Roxanne and Liv fighting over Raquel.
I could see either, or I could see it both.
Who knows? But yeah, this is the only part of the night, other than, like I said, other than the very end of the show, that intrigued me. Because then we got the Women's World Heavyweight Championship match between Stephanie Becker and Nikki Bella.
Great
13,
match.
13 minutes of my life I'll never get
Great
back.
match. Amazing.
I timed this.
Great technical wrestling.
Nikki did hit that corner kick that she missed on Becky Lynch that first match.
I can't.
This was horrendous. This was slow. It was plotting. They had no chemistry. It was bad. At one point after the second Devil's Kiss in the ring, you can see Stephanie get pissed off, and people are saying that she doesn't like. I don't know if this is just fan rumors, but she doesn't like when she hits the Devil's Kiss and the opponent doesn't go to her knees. Because when Nikki was taking that Devil's Kiss, she was flat.
Yeah.
And I think it makes Stephanie have to work more on it. And immediately after that, her face was crazy. Like, it looked like she wanted to kill her. This is just a terrible match. It doesn't do anything for anybody. Stephanie gets the win. This does nothing for no one. Again, Stephanie Vicker.
There was no intrigue even leading into the match. Nobody thought that Nikki Bella was going to win this match. It was pointless. There was no surprise. Like, Brie didn't return. There was nothing here. There was no point to this match whatsoever. It does nothing for Stephanie. It doesn't elevate her in any way, shape, or form. It was a waste of a match. It was to fill the card. And I'm sorry, but you could have done that with anybody. You could have just made any match. This didn't have to be the match. Nobody was clamoring for this.
For Nikki Bella on my TV. Like, I don't need her managing. I don't need her cutting a promo. She's a Hall of Famer. That's fine. Go away. Please go back to California. Please go run your wine business. Please do your crappy podcast. Like, I don't need you on my TV. You haven't had a good match since you've been back. There hasn't been one Nikki Bella match that we've said, oh, this was a solid match. No, every time she's in the ring with somebody, we criticize her because she sucks. This is terrible. Please go away. WWE should have never brought her back. She's a diva from a bygone era, which maybe the worst era of women's wrestling of all time. I don't want to hear you say Nikki Bella was the best of a bad bunch. I don't care. She was still in a bad bunch. I don't want Nikki Bella around. Please go away.
That's insane.
Stephanie Vicker retains.
You better have a lot to say because we are literally 13 minutes into this podcast and we're pretty much
20 minutes of us are 20 minutes of this is us going to be trying to figure out who the masked man is. Because this whole show did not deserve this. I said SmackDown needed to be a 32-minute podcast. We can get this done in 20 if we really try. This was not a good PLE. There was not a lot to talk about. There wasn't. Because the men's match, the intrigue going into the men's match are the three guys at the top of the babyface team going to be able to get along?
I feel like that's the case every year though during War Games. Can they coexist? Like I'm over it.
But the problem is it's still this can they coexist thing because on Raw they were trying to figure out whose team it was, right?
Yeah.
There was no play. They didn't play into that at all. The only time is maybe when Cody accidentally elbowed CM Punk.
Yeah.
At the very beginning of the show. There was nothing between Roman and Punk. There was nothing between Roman and Cody during the match. There was nothing. They did nothing up until the end of the match after when Roman daps up CM Punk and then goes to dap up Cody. And for some reason, Cody's pissed at him, which made no sense. He didn't do anything to you for you to be pissed at him for.
Yeah.
This match made no sense. So, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, the Usos, Roman Reigns versus The Vision, Brock Lesnar, and Drew McIntyre. And also, Drew McIntyre was like in this match, but he was not in this match. He was never
I
gone.
remember like 0 spots for him like that.
Cody jumped out of the cage at one point to attack him. That's about it. There's nothing else happened with he had a Claymore, I think, on Jey Uso once. That might be it. Like, so the rumor going. So did you see the rumors before the show?
No.
So I think it was Wrestle Votes or somebody was saying that they were hearing that going into the show there was a lot of arguing in the back amongst the competitors about the order of which they were going to enter the match and what was actually going to happen in the match. So Brock Lesnar pulled his "I'm Brock Lesnar" card. I'm not doing that bull crap again. This is basically all that happened because Brock's whole thing in this match was, I'm in the match. I want to fight Roman. Why? We've already done Roman Brock 7,000 times. They had a match when Roman was in the bloodline where if I beat you for the title, this will be the last time we ever fight. Brock wanted to, and then when Brock leaves and attacks Roman Reigns, Roman hits 2 Superman punches. Brock hits him with an F5 through the table, and I think that's the last. Oh no, and then Roman hits a spear on Brock through a table in the ring. But that was it. Brock and Roman needed to fight outside of the cage and then just leave. That's how Brock and Roman gone. Because that's why Roman's in this match. Roman's in this match because Brock Lesnar came out and attacked his cousins, attacked his family. Mm-hmm. Whatever. Division wins. So towards the end of the match, I already talked about Roman spearing Brock through the table. So Brock puts Jey on his back for an F5. Standing in front of a perched up table in the corner. Roman spears both of them, Brock and Jey, through the table. Roman grabs Logan Paul and knocks everybody out with a bunch of with brass knuckles. Roman spears him. Roman takes the brass knuckles, hits a Superman punch on, I think it was on Drew McIntyre. He hit a Superman punch on somebody while holding the brass knuckles to knock them out. Punk hits GTS on Logan Paul. I think so. I don't know. Punk hit a GTS. So as he hit the GTS, masked hooded figure in all black scales the cage, comes into the ring. Punk had enough time to recover.
Yeah.
Because Punk was just on his knees watching as this masked hoodie man just stood in front of him, and Punk just waited for him to kick him in the face. Mm-hmm. I think was Punk in such shock that there was a guy in the ring that looked like he was going to kidnap him, that he just couldn't move, that he just froze. Because I rewatched it, I'm just like, he's just sitting there waiting for it.
Yeah.
So Punk gets kicked in the face. Hooded man hits curb stomp, and then Scales. I rewatched it today. Scaled outside the ring, like he climbed that so fast. So anybody who says this might have been Chris Jericho, stop it. Jericho not climbing.
He cannot move like that. Stop it.
He could not get out of that cage that way.
No.
Braun Breaker puts the straps up, takes the straps down, hits spear on CM Punk, gets the pinfall, gets the win. Vision wins. Vision celebrates. And then we get the thing at the end of the match, where Roman daps up CM Punk because they're cool for some reason.
Yeah. And
then Cody stares at Roman, and Roman goes, "This will be the last time I'll ever team with you." Before we get into the masked hooded figure, I've been saying for weeks we're gonna get Roman versus Punk at Mania. Mm-hmm. Even to the point on Raw where Roman stared at Punk and said, "That title will look better on my shoulder." Mm-hmm. If that's your motivation, even going into this match, when you're leaving the match, why are you dapping up Punk as if you're cool? You should. This is what I mean by they did nothing to advance story. Mm-hmm. They did nothing to start building towards Mania. And you made the point last night. It's like it did nothing for Braun Breaker. Yeah. Which should have been the motivation for this match. I understand he pinned CM Punk, and he'll probably get a match out of it at Royal Rumble for the title. That's why I'm thinking this happened. But this did nothing to elevate anybody in this match.
Nope.
And if the story coming out of this match and the intrigue amongst everybody is, who is this man who stopped CM Punk, who's pretending to be Seth Rollins? If we find out on Raw that it's somebody like who we think it should be, is Austin Theory, you're automatically making that person more relevant than Braun Breaker.
Yes.
So what are we
they
doing?
already did as soon as they added Logan.
Yeah. What are we doing?
What are we doing? That was going to be my entire take this entire episode. What are we doing with this pay-per-view? With this PLE, sorry. What are we doing? Nothing was of consequence, and you did nothing to elevate any sort of superstar to the next level. You did nothing to advance story. What are we doing? What is the point? That is the whole purpose of PLEs, is supposed to be like the ending of things, or to, the climax of it, or building to something further down the line for one of the bigger shows. None of that occurred last night. This was not a PLE. I would make the argument this was not a PLE. This was a SmackDown.
This was terrible. It was horrible, bro. Like, I can't. So, again, I don't know if you've seen the aftermath of the post show. And so Peter Rosenberg straight up asked Paul Heyman, not about the masked figure. He asked him twice, is Logan Paul
officially
a Paul Heyman?
Heyman guy.
A Paul Heyman guy, is that moving forward? And being the master manipulator he didn't answer the question. He said twice, I don't know who that masked figure was.
Yeah.
Because he understands, Paul Heyman understands, the only thing that matters coming out of this show is what happened at the end. Because that's what people are going to remember.
Yeah.
So no one cares about Logan Paul after that match.
No.
It's about what happened with the masked figure. So on Raw, people are going to be watching Raw. I said last night, it's a must watch for that reason. You have to figure out who this guy is. And that's it.
And what I will say too, I don't want some long drawn out weeks over weeks to figure out who this next person is. We need to find out tomorrow.
Absolutely. This needs to be right away. So let's just speculate. We said Austin Theory was actually Sean Ross Sapp went on Fightful already and said he spoke to somebody in WWE and they're telling him it is Austin Theory. So if you don't want spoiler, well, I should have said this beforehand. But, but that's the reporting that this will be Austin Theory. This will be the spot where he makes his return. The question is, with Austin Theory coming into the Vision, does that mean Logan Paul is on his way out of the Vision? Is that why Paul Heyman refused to answer the question? So we're going to get a trio of Austin Theory, Braun Breaker.
You kept saying it for weeks. Logan's not going to stick around. He's not slated to be a weekend and week out kind of guy. He's there to be there sporadically. He's a special attraction, so to speak. So realistically, you need a guy that's going to be there week in and week out, and that would be Austin.
Yeah, we speculated last night possibly Buddy Matthews. That would have been cool, but it looks like it's going to be Austin Theory, which is great. Hopefully, this can elevate Austin Theory to where he needs to be. But you need to elevate all three of these guys. If it's going to be a trio of Austin Theory, Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, you need to figure out a way to make them all feel special.
Yeah. And
get them all elevated into the main event scene. The problem then is, if you're a trio, who's the number one guy? You can't all be main eventers.
Yeah.
So if you're going to make Austin Theory a main eventer, then Braun and Bronson are going to be a tag team. If you're going to make Braun and Breaker the main event, then you're going to get Austin Theory and Bronson Reed tagging. You're going to do something where two of the three of these guys, I think, are going to end up being tag champions at some point.
Yeah. I don't know. I really liked it in the beginning when they first did because I didn't like it overall, the idea of them kicking Seth out. I had a big problem with it. But that first week when Braun was like, having a problem with the way Heyman was doing things and Heyman talking him through it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He was the clear leader of the group in that moment, and having him literally learn from the wise man, the oracle, sorry. It was nice to see. Like, it was a nice dynamic, and
Yeah.
they just got away with that way too quickly. They
Mm-hmm.
just moved on from that. I would like to see something like that. I've been clamoring. We've both wanted Austin to return. I just don't know if I necessarily want him as a part of the vision.
Yeah. Well, the idea of moving into this before Rollins got hurt was Austin Theory was supposed to be part of this team, right? It was supposed so with no Rollins, you add in Logan Paul to replace him. Maybe you still have Austin Theory come in. This was a way to get Austin Theory back because Austin Theory, if somehow, some way, he was going to be part of Survivor Series, whether it's part of the match or part of, or apparently affecting the match.
Yeah,
and he was going to be part of this group either as a quartet or a trio. Now he's going to be part of this group as a trio. Who knows what Rollins, when he eventually gets back, is going to do, because Becky Lynch has already told Paul Heyman he's going to come and destroy everybody that you love and create when he comes back. He's going to be the Oracle Hunter, basically. So then he's going to hunt Braun Breaker. He's going to hunt Bronson Reed. And if Austin Theory's part of this group, we can get Seth Rollins, Austin Theory, and that could be a way to elevate him. But that's not until, probably after Mania.
Yeah.
So what do you do with this group for the next 4-ish months? Because I don't see any one of them being a viable contender for the two main titles at Mania. I don't think Braun or Bronson versus Cody at Mania would make sense. I think it's Punk Roman at Mania. So what do you do with these three guys going into Mania? One of them could feud with Dominic Mysterio for that Intercontinental Championship. I would love to see Austin Theory in a mid-card championship with Dom Mysterio. I think that would be great.
Yeah.
And like I said, we got to make the tag division relevant. You can have the other two facing off against whoever the tag team champions at the time would be, whether it be Judgment Day or New Day, because, those are the only two teams that apparently can win these tag belts. So I think that's what you do. But who knows? Who knows moving forward? But we're at like 30 minutes. Do you have anything else you want to talk about before?
I got nothing. This show is garbage.
You always tell me, our podcast needs to be longer. We need to figure out a way. When the shows are bad, we need to figure out a way to extend it out, because this show was very bad.
I mean, I can't say that our live went really well, and I really enjoyed the fact that after the PLE went off the air, we had some great conversations with a lot of the guys that had watched alongside of us. So that was enjoyable. That was probably the better part of the night, was just being able to talk with the community.
I agree. It turned into an impromptu Q&A session, which was great.
Everybody was just asking our opinions on different things, and it was dope.
Yeah. So I'm going to look up the Raw preview for tomorrow, as we know, we're going to get more or less. Is the only match announced Solo versus, they don't even have it announced. It says last time is now tournament, Gunther versus Solo Sikoa, or Jey Uso versus LA Knight.
One or the other.
One or the other. We don't know which one is going to be on the show. Hold on. This is from, what is this website? This was like a 1998. It says established in 2006. They need to update their graphics. This is terrible. What do we got? We got New Day versus Dragon Lee and AJ Styles set for tomorrow.
Okay.
Is that the only thing announced? I got like so many websites to try to figure out the preview. Obviously, we're gonna get a Vision segment probably to kick off the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's it. That's the only thing announced, is that tag team match.
Okay.
as of press time yesterday, WWE had not officially announced either match. Either John Cena last time is now match for Raw.
Copy.
So yeah, we only have one thing announced for the show tomorrow. Even they're mailing it in. They're like, who cares? Like, did you watch this show? We'll write it on Monday morning. We'll figure this out. Oh God, this is so. I can't with. Yeah,
I got
that's it.
nothing.
That's all we got. I got nothing. I'm still trying to figure out what's happening on Raw. Like nothing. No website I click has given me a definitive answer.
It's whatever.
It just says Gunther is set to battle Solo Sikoa while Jay will take on LA Knight, but it doesn't say when these matches are happening.
And that's fine. They'll figure it out. All right. Well, that was Survivor Series War Games. I agree with you. I think they need to return to a I'm cool with regular Survivor Series. What if we did the elimination like we did on SmackDown? I'd even prefer that than the cage.
You can do one or two of those matches, and then you can do brand versus brand. You can do a little bit of everything. Like if you're going to do traditional 5-on-5 or 4-on-4, you do two of those. Do one men's and one women's. You don't have to do you don't even have to put the titles, the world championships on the line. You can do men's world championship, men's world champion versus men's world champion on Survivor Series. And then you can do like the IC versus the US champion. Like they were doing it at the tail end of Vince when it was just brand versus brand. Those matches were intriguing. Some of those, the one we got a great AJ Styles versus Brock Lesnar match out of that. We got a Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar match, which was actually really good out of that format. But we went to War Games, I think 4 years ago, and some of them have been really good. The Bloodline one with Sammy when he gave up KO and he sacrificed KO to Jey Uso, really that one was really good. The one where CM Punk and Randy Orton came back was a solid match, and it was highlighted by Punk's return. Last year's, it was fine. It was OG Bloodline versus new Bloodline, but at least you had a story moving in, right? This year it was just like, all right, Seth's hurt. What do? We throw everybody together. We don't touch on the storylines at all, and then we just have them fight.
Yeah,
it made no sense. It made no sense. But yeah, that was Survivor Series. We will be having tomorrow. You work tomorrow?
Yeah.
What time do you get up?
2:30.
Yay! We can do a Raw watch along.
I'm off Tuesday. We can theoretically.
I'm in. I'm off tomorrow, and then I work at 8 a.m. Tuesday, but I don't care. That's enough time to sleep.
Yeah, that's enough time.
That's enough time to sleep.
All right, maybe
yes, we can do a Raw watch along on TikTok tomorrow.
All right, no promises. We will try.
Listen, the TikTok live was the most fun part of the whole thing last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll try to get on TikTok for tomorrow. But yeah, that was it. Hit us with the outro.
Thank you guys, as always. We appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you for making the lives very interesting and keeping up with the conversation and building up the community. We got a few more followers out of that. As always, you can follow us on Spotify, TikTok, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. And, of course, our personal TikToks ourselves. And we'll catch you on the next one.
Peace.
Peace.